This one simple brain hack helps you learn faster and remember more. If you're struggling with your memory and you're over 35, then you need to see this.
They called him the boy with the broken brain. At 5 years old, Jim Kwik fell off a chair and cracked his skull. When he got out of the hospital, his parents noticed something was different about Jim. His brain trauma had left him with severe learning disabilities. He struggled to understand instructions. He struggled to learn and recall information. He couldn't read as well. The more he tried to keep up, the more he began to feel left behind. He even heard his teachers call him the boy with the broken brain. Jim was devastated. His mind wasn't working like everybody else. So every night when his parents were sleeping, Jim would hide under the covers, shine a flashlight, and try to learn how to read better using comic books. His favorite comic was the X-Men, not because they were the strongest or the fastest, but because they didn't fit in. They were mutants. They were outcast, bullied, beaten. The X-Men were told they were not worth anything, just like Jim. Yet Jim had no idea that his dream would come true. He would be an honorary X-Man. What inspired Jim was how every member of the X-Men had a hidden power to give to the world. A superpower that to develop, they trained at a special school. A place where lost, lonely souls could find a home and find their super friends. They call this Charles Xavier School for the Gifted, a place that would transform them from an outcast into the X-Men superheroes they were born to be. At 9 years old, Jim read in the comic books that the exact school that the X-Men were in was based in Westchester, New York, the same place he grew up. So every weekend he would jump on his bike and ride around the neighborhood from dusk till dawn looking for the X-Men school so he could find his super friends. Yet, as the weeks turned to months, Jim came to realize that the super school didn't really exist, and the boy with the broken brain was alone. By the age of 18, he'd reached a breaking point. School had become a constant struggle. He just wanted to run away. At that time, Jim had a friend who said, "Hey, why don't you come over with me over the weekend? I'm going to go visit my family in California. Come with, get some space, get some perspective." Jim went, and as his friend's father was walking Jim around the property, he asked Jim a really innocent question, a question you'd ask any 18-year-old. But for Jim, it was the worst question possible. "How's school?" Jim broke down. He just starts crying at this complete stranger because of all the pressure he's been facing. He opens up and tells this man his whole life story about the brain injury and the challenges he had growing up with learning difficulties. How he's going to disappoint his parents and be a bad role model for his younger brother and younger sister. He looks at Jim and says, "Why are you in school? Who do you want to be? What do you want to do? What do you want to have? What do you want to share?" Jim didn't have any answers. He'd never asked himself before. So the dad pulls out a journal, tears out a couple of pages of paper, hands it to Jim with a pen, and he makes him write down his answers. His answers to who do you want to be? What do you want to do? What do you want to have? What do you want to share with the world? When he was done, he starts folding up the sheets of paper to put it in his back pocket. The dad grabs the paper right out of Jim's hand, and Jim's freaking out because he wasn't expecting anyone to see his dreams, his fantasies, his goals. The dad starts reading these to himself, then looks at Jim and says, "Jim, you are this close to every single thing on that list." Jim thinks, "There's no way. Give me 10 lifetimes. I'm not going to crack that list." And the dad then takes his fingers and puts them on both sides of Jim's head. "Right here," he says, "between your ears is the key. It's your mind. It's your brain. That's the key to unlocking the dream life." He walks Jim to a room of his home, and it's wall to wall, ceiling to floor, covered in books. Jim starts looking at the titles of the books, and they are biographies of incredible men and women throughout history, and some really early personal growth books. He goes, Jim, I want you to read one of these books per week. Jim's thinking, have you not heard anything I've said? I have these learning difficulties and all of these learning problems. And suddenly, as if sensing his thoughts, the friend's father stops and he pulls out all of Jim's goals, dreams, his bucket list, if you will. This time, he starts unfolding the paper and reading it to Jim, his goals, his dreams, out loud. And there's something about hearing your dreams coming from a stranger's voice, enchanted out into the universe. It shook his spirit. It shook his soul. Inspired, Jim goes back home and commits to reading one book per week. Yet, as the books start piling up, Jim still finds himself struggling to learn, struggling to remember, struggling to focus and concentrate. And pretty soon, he starts to despair. And that's when he saw this mug of tea. And it had an incredible genius named Albert Einstein, and a quote below Einstein that said, "The same level of thinking that created the problem won't solve the problem." And it hit Jim like a lightning bolt. It made him ask a new question. What's my problem? What's my actual problem? And the answer came surprisingly easily. Well, I'm a slow learner. I learn very slowly. I have a slow brain. Okay, so how do I think differently about this problem? Well, what if I could learn to learn faster? Right, what if I could learn how to learn? And Jim was like a man possessed. He began to discover everything he could about the brain, how to learn, how our memory works. And what he found out is that everything he thought he knew about the brain was false. How science used to think that after childhood, the brain could not change, and that our brain power would always be fixed and limited, when in reality, nothing could be further from the truth. Jim discovered that through neurogenesis and neuroplasticity, as we grow older, our brain's capacity can grow better. We can create new brain cells, new connections, and do things that are absolutely extraordinary. Even genetics, IQ, age, and injuries like the one Jim suffered, which can lead to forgetfulness, brain fog, learning challenges, can be overcome. But we just aren't taught how. If anything, we were taught a lie that our brain power is predetermined. But the truth is that there are a handful of tools, tips, tricks, and mental training protocols that anyone can easily learn that can give you seemingly superhuman cognitive abilities. Memory, problem solving, creativity, rapid learning, recall, speed reading, optimal brain states. One by one, Jim mastered them all. And the more he learned about how to learn, the faster he was able to learn. In fact, his progress was exponential. Over the next few years, he refined his skills, developed his own curriculum, and began to share his secrets of his success. Fast forward to today, and Jim Kwik is now the brain coach to some of the leading minds on the planet. People like Bill Clinton, Oprah, Richard Branson, Larry Page, Will Smith. And for almost 3 decades, Jim's been teaching students worldwide, including Fortune 500 CEOs and Hollywood celebrities, to improve their memory, read faster, and study effectively. Things that school never taught them, like how to be more creative, how to solve problems with lightning speed, how to focus like a laser or become hyper-productive, what to eat to maintain optimal brain health as you age, the daily habits and routines to keep your mind operating at its sharpest level, how to fix forgetfulness so we can remember everything from speeches we have to give to important facts and figures, new vocabulary and terminology, daily tasks, even learning how to remember names so that you can open doors to some of the most important and incredible opportunities. Just like it opened the doors to lead Jim to this incredible photo. Here's Jim to tell this amazing story.
So I remember this person's name, and that led to me speaking at 20th Century Fox for this chairman of 20th Century Fox and his executive team. And so I did my very best talk, and I don't know what it was, because I was in this playful state. It was a Friday, and walking into the boardroom, you saw like pictures of like Avatar and Star Wars. It put me in that state, right? And what happened was, it was my very best presentation, and afterwards the chairman looks at me and says, Jim, I want to give you a tour of the 20th Century lot, and it's a closed lot in Hollywood. And when we were walking around the film sets, I noticed there was this movie poster of Wolverine, and I was like, oh, I can't wait for that new movie to come out. And he picks up his phone, and 5 minutes later, I'm in the Fox Theater with 3D glasses watching Hugh Jackman fight all these super ninjas. I mean, it was amazing. And afterwards, he's like, Jim, how was the movie? And I was like, oh, it was so good, thank you so much. And it's like, you don't know this, but I grew up with learning challenges, and I couldn't read as a kid. And I taught myself how to read by reading comic books. That was my whole infatuation with comic books and superheroes. And I was telling him, I was like, my favorite comic books growing up were actually Wolverine and the X-Men, because not because they were the most powerful, it's because they didn't fit in. And I'm telling this to the chairman of Fox. He's like, Jim, I didn't know you liked superheroes. Do you want to go to Comic-Con? And you know what Comic-Con is?
Right. Comic-Con is it was one of the biggest events, most popular events in America. Everybody, thousands of people come together to celebrate comics.
Exactly, and they dress up, and it's really wild. And it's in San Diego. And I was like, when's Comic-Con? He's like, it's today, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And he was like, do you want to go? And I was like, and I go from a 9-year-old to a 99-year-old. And this is a lesson in accelerated learning, because it's not chronological age. It's the age of our mind and the age of our heart, right, our spirit. And I start thinking about all these excuses, because I was a kid, and I'm thinking, no, now I'm 99. It's like, oh, how do I get to San Diego on a Friday? Oh, I have all these meetings here in LA. Oh, I have nothing to wear. Oh, there's gonna be traffic. Oh, I have to wait on lines. And so interesting how adults talk their way out of opportunity, right? And so I always tell people, if you fight for your limitations, you get to keep them, right? People are always saying, oh, I'm not smart enough, or I'm not good enough, oh, I'm just not, my memory is not good, I'm getting too old. And again, if you argue for your limits, you get to keep them. So he's looking at me, he's like, Jim, do you want to go or not? I'm going tomorrow. I was like, oh, the chairman of Fox is going, I want to go with you. So the next morning, he picks me up, Saturday morning, and we go, and instead of driving, we get on his plane, and I swear to you, Vishen, the entire cast of X-Men is on that plane. I mean, think about, I'm 9 years old in my mind now again, and there's literally, I don't even see like Patrick Stewart and Hugh Jackman, I see like, I see Wolverine and Professor X, and I'm sitting between Jennifer Lawrence and Halle Berry, and we're going to Comic-Con, right? And we go and we spend an incredible day together, and on the way back, the chairman of Fox is like, how was your day? I was like, this is the best day ever, thank you so much. He was like, I have something else for you. I'm like, I don't want anything else, what can I do for you? He was like, Jim, they really loved you, how would you like to go on set? I was like, what do you mean? He's like, we're filming the new X-Men movie in Montreal.
Wow.
Another 30 days, how would you like to go? I was like, oh, I've never been on set, I would love to go. What can I do for you? And he's like, Jim, just teach them what you taught us. Teach them how to unlock their superpowers. Teach them how to speed read their scripts, how to memorize their lines. And I was like, I can totally do that. The next morning, next Sunday, we're on what they call the X-Jet, going to Montreal, and I got to share with my heroes, and I got to see them on set come alive.
Wow.
And when I got back home, that photograph was waiting for me. This photograph of me and the entire cast of X-Men. And even better than that, though, was this note from the chairman. And this is world class. Big heart. He says, Jim, thank you so much for sharing your superpowers with all of us. I know since you've been a child, you've been looking for your superhero school. Here's your class photo.
Wow.
And
Jim, what an incredible story.
I even get goosebumps even thinking about it. I call them truth bumps, and really that put me on this quest for where's our superhero school? And that's why I love partnering with you with what we're doing, because when are often people having conversations around superpowers and genius and meta learning? I mean, all these skills that will give people greater levels of performance and peace of mind.
This is why we decided to partner with Jim Kwik to create Superbrain, a new course on Mindvalley where we learn how to learn. It's a 30-day program to help improve our learning ability. New students are going to learn one of Jim's advanced techniques every single day for 30 days. And things get stacked on, so each technique leads to another. At the end of 30 days, the way you function as a human being completely shifts. It boosts career success. It boosts performance at work. For students, it makes your schoolwork go so much easier. It changes the way you function in this world, because every single day we unlock more and more of our brain power. To those interested in learning more, click the link below to sign up now. Now, New students can enroll today and actually unlock a special discount only available on this page as a thank you for investing the last couple of minutes with us. Here's Jim to tell you a little bit more about Superbrain.
Okay, so a lot of people know that I grew up with learning challenges, learning difficulties, and it's if you didn't go through that, it's really hard to imagine what it's like to struggle for all those years. And so for me, when I learned how to compensate and going from below normal to maybe super level, I can't help but help other people. My whole thing is no brain left behind. No brain left behind. And your brain is your most valuable supercomputer. It is your superpower between your ears, this 3-pound matter that could really, it influences your health, it influences your career, it influences your relationships, your finances, everything that you hold dear. But it doesn't come with an owner's manual. So we created this Quest program just for you. And the reason why I'm so passionate about this is when I first learned these skills 25 years ago and I started teaching it, my very first student, she read 30 books in 30 days and remembered it all because she had a super brain. And you're thinking like, wow, that's amazing. How can you do that? And I wanted to ask her the same thing. Not how she did it. I know how she did it. I want to know why. Okay, because I find motivation is key to learning. Motivation is key. What is your motive to learn new things? In fact, what benefits would you get for going through this quest? How many better decisions can you make? How much more money can you make? How enriched can you make your health? And I wanted to find out for her what her motivation was. And I found out that her mother was dying of terminal cancer. Terminal cancer, was given 60 days to live, just 2 months to live by doctors. And the books she was reading were books to save her mother's life. Books on health, books on wellness, and it was amazing because I said, I'll say prayers and thoughts, and and I don't know what else I could do to be able to support you in this. She was like, Jim, I'm going to use everything I learned in this program to be able to apply, to learn all this stuff to help her. And 6 months later, I get a call from this young lady, and she's crying and crying and crying, and I can't get a word out of her. And I find out they're tears of joy, that her mother not only survived, but is really getting better. She's starting to thrive. Doctors don't know how, they don't know why. They call it a miracle, but her mother attributed 100% to the great advice she got from her daughter, who learned it from all these books. And that's where I realized that if knowledge is power, learning is your superpower. And it's a superpower that we not only desire, but we really deserve. The world deserves more of us to be able to show up. And it shows up when we show up, specifically in our mind.
Jim, that's fantastic. What an incredible story. Now, I'd love for you to share with them some of the tools and the techniques that you've put into this program to give us this superpower.
Yeah, and so what we understand is that people lose focus after a little bit of time. So we made this program specifically about 15 to 20 minutes because they call it the Pomodoro technique, that after about 20, 25 minutes, our focus dips drastically. And so I always recommend people when they study or when they work to work in those bite-sized chunks because it's digestible. And the key to really making big transformation is consistency and challenge. Consistency and challenge. You can't go to the gym once and just be fit, right? You have to be consistent about it. But you also have to challenge yourself because your mental muscles grow through challenge. But what makes consistency and challenge better is a third C, which is coaching. Coaching. The best in the world have a coach. The best singers have a voice coach. The best business people have a business coach, right? You have your health and fitness coach. I want to be your Superbrain coach. I want to be your personal trainer for your most valuable asset in the world, which is your brain. Remember we started this conversation saying if you could learn any subject or skill faster, what would it be? Just like asking a genie, you would ask for more wishes. The closest thing that would give you more wishes is learning how to learn. And that's what this program is all about. It's about bite-sized lessons every single day for 30 days to change your habit completely. Because first you create this habit of having a super brain, and then it creates you right back. And so every single day is very specifically designed to jumpstart your brain so you can jumpstart your day. So you could have better focus, so you can have greater productivity. And so this is what we focus on. We do lessons on, for example, how to have focus when you read. Because readers are readers, right? But people can't remember what they read. How do you remember what you read? We do lessons, for example, on how to learn another language. A lot of people, they want to learn a second or third language. Maybe they're doing international business. Maybe they want to travel abroad. How do you learn that language 200 or 300% faster? And so again, stay to the end of this because we're going to show you a very small clip of what you're going to get and how to remember names, because remembering names and faces is critical. I mean, just forgetting someone's name could kill a sale or hurt a relationship. So let's say you walk into a room and you have conversations with people, but a lot of people, they forget the conversations and they're like, oh, I forgot what I needed to do. I forgot what I needed to say. And so these memory lapses, what happens is, I believe two of the most costly words in your life are I forgot. I forgot. I forgot to do it. I forgot to bring it. I forgot that conversation. I forgot that meeting. I forgot that anniversary. I forgot that person's name. Every single time you say those words to yourself, you lose time, you lose productivity, you lose credibility, and you lose income also, an opportunity. And so my goal with this program is really to fix your forgetfulness, is to be able to clear the mental fog, is to be able to get rid of that fatigue so you could show up the way you're supposed to be able to show up. And we call that your super brain. Because yes, it's going to teach you to memorize anything that you want to be able to memorize, but not just memorize it, to really understand it so you could apply it easily and effectively. If you're watching this now, you're a special person. You've gotten to the end. You are a completer, right? And so I want to give you mad respect, and I appreciate it because that's how people learn, because you have to show up. But the other thing you have to do is you have to take action and play full out. So if you want to join this program, the reason why I'm so excited about it, yes, you remember facts, figures, foreign languages, and all that information. You have a youthful brain that it really could have so much impact on your productivity, your performance, your peace of mind, your profitability. But also the other things you want to remember besides those are three things. You want to remember your loved ones, right? One of my reasons why I'm doing this is my grandmother had Alzheimer's. And when she passed away when I was a young child, she didn't even remember my name, and she didn't even recognize me. And growing up with those kind of, my inspiration really was my desperation, because I was struggling with all these things. And I understand, as a kid, I'm struggling with it, and then I see this, is this genetic? Am I gonna have to realize this? And then what I realized, though, in the research is only 1/3 of your mental potential, your memory, is predetermined by genetics and biology, but 2/3 is completely in your control. And I just came back from doing a program at the Cleveland Clinic, the Center for Brain Health. And in America, that's like the place. They do all the research on Alzheimer's and dementia, and they do the best caregiving. And I was there training their doctors, their caregivers, their patients on how to have this super brain through prevention, right? All the things you could do now so you don't have to deal with those things later. And so you want to remember your loved ones. The second L you want to be able to remember why super brain is so important is your life, Because if your life is worth living, it's worth remembering. And most people, they don't remember those moments, those magical moments that really affected them. They don't even remember what they had for breakfast, and that's not normal. So I want to be able to fix that so you can remember your life. Bruce Lee said the key to immortality is first living a life worth remembering. So you have your loved ones, you have your life. The third thing I would say, the reason you have a super brain, is to remember your lessons. Your lessons. There's this quote about insanity, and I'm sure you've heard it a million times, is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. And that's, for me, is like you going around learning how you've always been learning. It's like, why would you do that? We grew up with a 20th century education that hasn't changed in like the 200 years. It was cookie cutter, one size fits all, everyone's the same, don't talk to your neighbor. But we live in an age of electric cars and spaceships that are going to Mars, but our vehicle of choice when it comes to learning is like a horse and buggy.
Right.
And people they don't learn that way. And so how do you make it more active? And I would say is, insanity is that same thing. Why read the same way you're reading and getting sleepy and your mind wanders? Why keep on forgetting names? Why doing the same path? And someone told me, we were talking about this, like, Jim, that's not insanity, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. That's the result of a poor memory, because you're not remembering the lessons. So how many people watching make the same mistakes in their relationship, or they date the same person because they're not remembering the lesson from the previous lesson? Or maybe they're making the same financial mistakes, they're repeating that over and again. Or they're making the same health mistakes, they're eating the same bad foods, they're not working out, because you don't remember the lessons. And so part of having a super memory, or a super brain, if you will, is just keys are just being a better person, meaning care about a person, you remember their name, and also be present. So this is the art of memory, is the art of attention. If you feel like you're distracted, you don't have the focus in your life, you can't get things done, you come home at night and your to-do list, you didn't even get anything checked off, and you're wondering what happened, and you want the opposite, you want to come home and you want to come fresh and you want to be confident. You're like, someone says, how was your day? You're like, I crushed it. And part of that comes from unlocking this thing called your Superbrain. It is your greatest gift for yourself, for your family, for your work, and for the world.
Thank you, Jim. So ask yourself this question, right? How much would it be worth to you if you could automatically remember what you needed to say? If you were giving an important speech, if you were getting on stage because you have this Superbrain, what would it be worth to you if you woke up every morning and you knew exactly what to do to train your brain to function at higher levels of processing so that you are smarter throughout the day? What would it be worth to you to have greater brain health so you reduce the odds of age-related diseases impacting your brain? What would it be worth to you to be able to remember names and faces better so that everybody remembered you as that person that made them feel important? What would it be worth to you to be able to become so sharp in terms of your idea generation, your memory, that immediately your performance at work goes up? Your career starts rising, your salary starts going up. What would it be worth to you to be able to have a better vocabulary and to be able to remember languages better so you can pick up the next language? I'm actually about to go in a course to study Estonian, which is the language from the country where my wife is born. And I've been afraid to take this course, but I'm taking Superbrain and then I'm taking my Estonian course as soon as I'm done with Superbrain. What would it be worth to you to be able to remember numbers better? Facts, figures, data. What would it be worth to you to be able to read at twice the rate and remember information at twice the rate? That alone makes this program worth so much.
Yeah, I think that session alone, that one day out of the 30-day plus, is worth it alone.
And for those of you who are new to Mindvalley, know that Mindvalley, it doesn't just bring you the best teachers. Jim obviously is the guy who's training all of these incredible people around the world. Just check out his Instagram. But we also have what is perhaps the most sophisticated learning platform in the world. When you go in this program, we don't let you sit behind and not practice it. Our completion rates for our program are up to 500% better than traditional online courses. And this is through the Quest methodology, where you're going on a 30-day journey, a 30-day transformation with 2,000 other students. We all start on the same day, and every day you get coached by Jim for 10 to 20 minutes. Every day, and each day stacks up. And then you get access to a community where all 2,000 students are sharing ideas and insights, and that is so inspiring. People actually make friends in this community, and we've seen people travel to other countries to visit friends that they make. Now, combining all of this, the micro-learning, the platform, the community with the technology, it comes with an Apple TV app as a bonus, it comes with an iPad app, an Android app, and an iPhone app. And you can also, of course, watch this on Mindvalley Home on your desktop as well. So there's no excuse. You can listen to this when you're on the road. And all of that is just a bonus. What you will see is that at the end of 30 days, you experience a massive shift. Now, we're so confident about this, Jim, that we are able to promise this to our students. If you even have the slightest bit of hesitation, jump on this. Because not only are you going to get one of the best pricing out there. This program is worth, because it's a coaching program, it's worth upwards of $1,000. But if you look at the pricing below this page, you'll see the massive discount you're getting. So all the information's in below. Go ahead and enroll, and we'll see you in the Superbrain Quest. Now, I want to share with you, with the audience, a couple of other really exciting things. This program is coming with a number of different bonuses. When you enroll today, you get bonus 1, which is Jim training you on how to overcome procrastination. Jim, why is this important?
Well, a lot of us are going out there, we're trying to achieve things, but we put things off. I mean, if you're not getting the things that you need to get done when you need to get it done, then you're not being effective. And there's a difference between being a thermostat and a thermometer. A thermometer is just something that reacts to the environment and responds to the environment. But a thermostat is different. It sets a standard, it sets a vision, it sets a goals, and you have a lot of tasks to be able to accomplish. And then all of a sudden the environment rises to be able to meet that. And if you're watching this, I see you as a thermostat and not a thermometer, because you're making things happen. So this bonus is worth the entire course alone, because if you can't get things done, then you're in a prison. So I teach you the 5 keys to smash procrastination so you get things done and get it done quickly.
And that's just one of several bonuses. You also get a second bonus, which is called your 8 C's to muscle memory. Tell us about that.
So this is a really fun bonus. A lot of people, like when we talk about memory, it's about logical, cerebral things. But what about people who want to learn new dance or a martial arts or a new exercise, physical movements? And so this is going to fast track your results and shortcut your results to be able to get things in your body so you can learn things like aerobics or dance.
Or dance moves, or Zumba, or martial arts. That's so funny. And then the third bonus is the one I'm waiting for most, because remember when Jim started this masterclass, he told you that the first thing he does when he wakes up is remember his dreams. And I'm thinking, I've been trying to remember my dreams for 3 decades. So the third bonus is on remembering your dreams. How about that?
Because remember, you're coming up with creative solutions for your problems, you're integrating these things, coming up with inventions and incredible things for your business. But if you're forgetting it first thing in the morning, then you're at a huge disadvantage. So I'm going to show you the 6 keys for remembering all your dreams.
So stay tuned, because we're going to give you a bonus snippet from this question, Remembering Faces. But first, we know that when we are unrolling a quest like this, there are 4 common questions that people ask, right? And Jim, I want you to spend just a minute or so just addressing these questions. The first one is, who is this quest for?
Okay, so this quest is for 2 kinds of people. The people that we tend to attract are people either who are struggling. They're struggling and they're suffering. They're wondering why they're working so hard, but they're not getting quite the results that they show up. And it doesn't matter if you're a student, a senior, an educator, or an entertainer, a CEO, or a celebrity, or anyone in between. It's for anyone who has a brain that they feel like there's more, that you feel like there's a specialness inside of you. You just haven't been able to unlock it. That's the program for you. The other kind of people who join this quest are the people who are already successful. They're mega successful, the kind of clients that I work with, and they want that edge. They want that advantage because people are working really hard to take them off the top, and they want to be able to sustain their success over time. Not just attain it, but sustain it. So it doesn't matter. This will work for you regardless of your age, your background, your career, your diet. This was designed for everybody that has a brain that wants to make it super.
Now, the second thing is, how fast do you see results?
Okay, so this is the exciting part, okay? Even from the first few days, you could get a major result. And you won't, it's so interesting. One different idea might not seem like a big shift, but over time, let's say 30 days, you have reached a certain different destination or a destiny. So little shifts don't seem like a lot, but over 30 days, it's very big. So the little things that you learn, even in the first 10 days, will absolutely transform your life. It's really about transcending. Transcending, which is ending the trance. Ending the trance that you're not good enough, that you're not smart enough, that you're too old, or you have the genetics. This will give you that advantage.
And I can attest to that, because just one conversation with this man shifted the way I remember faces and names. And you're going to learn that, 10 minutes. So the next question is, how much time commitment will this involve?
Okay, so the time commitment, this is the best part. It's bite size. If you don't have 10 or 20 minutes to be able to make your life easier, then this program is not for you. Or you should probably buy 2 of them because you really need this program. But this is for you or your family if you want to be able to make more time. Because being more efficient and be able to remember things, where you put things, a lot of people actually waste an incredible amount of time. Where did I put this? Where's the meeting? They lose all this track. It only takes about 10 or 20 minutes to be able to get these kind of results every single day.
And finally, I want to just add this. This program is 10 to 20 minutes a day, which is the methodology we use for Quest. But this program, after the first week itself, it's adding time to your life. I can attest to this. It's adding time because you operate at such a higher level of efficiency that you buy back your life. It's incredible when you think about it that way. And I also want to state this, and I'm going to make a very important promise here. I set a goal at Mindvalley with our team that every program we put out would have to be the singular best program in the world of its type. And we engineered this program with Jim, who I believe is the single greatest coach in this genre. And we put it on the Mindvalley Quest platform, which I believe is the single best learning platform in this field. One of Mindvalley's other aims is to touch 1 billion lives. And we know that not everybody can afford a $2,000 program. We want to give you something that you can afford because we know that every single person who buys this program, every mom, every dad, every boss, every manager, you're going to be teaching these techniques to your team members, to your kids. Imagine what would happen if your children learn this. So when you buy this program, you are also gaining the ability to teach others. So I want you to invest in this program and compare it to any program in speed learning, even $2,000 or $10,000 programs. Our aim is to produce the very best in the world, the de facto standard that we're getting out to schools and companies all across the world. And I believe in this, man. So all of that information is below. Go ahead and enroll in Superbrain by Jim Kwik and Mindvalley. So I wanted to give you a sneak peek of what you're going to find inside Jim Kwik's Superbrain. In part 1, you begin your journey by understanding the true definition of learning and memory and what it takes to build new learning pathways. You learn the 10 little-known factors that influence how strong or weak your memory is. You'll discover the easiest way to memorize any chunk of information and keep it in your mind. In part 2, you'll learn how to make brain training a part of your lifestyle. You'll learn powerful techniques that set you apart as a memory expert. You'll notice changes in the way you work and interact with others. You'll begin to optimize the physiological elements of memory, including food, movement, sleep. All of these influence your learning and your memory. And you'll learn a bulletproof technique to remove negative thinking from your mind. Part 3 is all about remembering lists. Long lists can seem impossible to remember until you discover the simple party trick for memorizing any list, no matter the length or content. You'll start implementing the single most powerful memory strategy known to man and build upon it. It's called chain linking. It's a method for rapidly absorbing large amounts of information and retaining it in your mind. I've used chain linking to memorize entire speeches and talks hour-long without having to resort to a script or a piece of paper. Now, in part 4, you're going to finally master remembering names. You'll go from embarrassment of forgetting names to the respect and admiration you get from remembering everyone's name perfectly, even if you just met them once. You'll learn several techniques that you can stack on top of one another, including the FDR technique and how to reinforce your memory by putting data in your body. Now, part 5 is going to increase your vocabulary and ability to learn languages at rapid speeds. You learn Jim's ultimate tip for learning any language, even the hard ones, and the keyword substitution method that accelerates mastery of languages. And you'll learn the most important step to expanding your vocabulary, and it has nothing to do with reading a dictionary. So part 6 is a biggie. It's memorizing speeches and text. Delivering a speech from the heart instead of a piece of paper makes all the difference and allows you to impress, to persuade, and inspire a room full of people all at once. You're going to learn the #1 preparation tip before you even think about a speech, the 3-step process to never forgetting your key points, and how to memorize speeches word for word. You'll be stunned by how easy it is. Now, lucky number 7 is all about numbers. Some people are scared of numbers. You won't be. When you learn how to remember and recall even the longest string of digits, you learn the world's easiest system for remembering numbers and understanding the key difference between remembering numbers and words. You'll also learn a concept called the sounds of memory technique for recalling numbers flawlessly. And finally, in part 8, you're going to learn how to integrate dozens of techniques you've learned thus far and tie everything together. Jim will teach you the 5 levels of transformation and the 5 levels of learning and how to leverage them together with your new skills to improve every aspect of your journey. Now, considering all of this and much, much more is covered over 30 individual daily lessons with the one and only Jim Kwik, it's probably safe to say that this program is pretty expensive. Most speed learning courses and mentors like Jim cost upwards of $1,000. And Jim is paid far more than that for his work consulting with leading business and Hollywood clienteles. But Jim's motto is no brain left behind. And we believe that anyone who wants to improve their mind should be able to afford it. Any child who wants to get better at school, anyone who wants to grow in their career should be able to afford this. So don't worry about the price. We'll get there in a second. But before we do, first, I need to make sure you're aware of something. You're not just receiving Superbrain Quest with all the benefits I spoke about. This program is coming with a number of different bonuses. New students that enroll today get bonus number 1, which is Jim's training on overcoming procrastination. Jim will teach you the 5 keys to smash procrastination, saving you the time, money, and stress that it causes. And that's just one of several bonuses. There's also a second bonus, which is called the 8 C's to Muscle Memory. This is a really fun bonus that's going to help people who want to learn a new dance or martial arts or a new exercise. The shortcut is going to fast-track your results. Imagine being able to pick up yoga poses with ease or new exercise routines with ease. Now, The third bonus is on remembering your dreams. When you're dreaming, you're coming up with creative solutions for your problems. You're integrating these things and coming up with new inventions, new ideas. You might even be coming up with new ideas for your business. But if you're forgetting your dreams the first thing in the morning, you're at a huge disadvantage. So Jim is going to teach you a 6-step process to remembering your dreams. And finally, just because Jim's so generous, he's going to throw in his introduction to speed reading training for free. Our students have loved this bonus and typically see an increase in their reading speed from 25 to 50% from completing the techniques in this speed reading program. In fact, the time you will save after completing just this one training is probably worth the price you'll pay for the entire program. Now, if you were to get any of these trainings with Jim, you'd be paying upwards of $2,500. But like I said, it's not going to be expensive. In fact, I'm going to tear that price into shreds for you. And then I'm going to tear those shreds into smaller shreds. So hang on a second, because I'm still not quite done. When you sign up today, you don't just get Jim Kwik's Superbrain and all the bonuses above. You also get 50 programs on Mindvalley instantly available to you. You see, Mindvalley produces 2 to 3 new programs on human transformation every single month. And each program, whether it's on networking or memory or health or fitness or relationship or mindset or spiritual ability, is designed to be the very best in its field with the leading authors in that field. We seek the #1 teachers, people that you would see on Oprah or see on the New York Times bestsellers list, teachers of the same caliber as Jim Kwik. And we put these teachers on one unified platform designed to deliver results. Our Mindvalley platform has one of the highest completion rates in the education industry because of the unique tech that supports it. And it's why we have over 100,000 members and 10 million individual students worldwide. And all our programs, just like Jim Kwik's Superbrain, will now be open to you. But that's not all. Membership means you get access to Mindvalley live events with so many incredible guests showing up live to speak to our members, from Hollywood stars to leading figures of our time. We've had Mark Cuban, Gary Vee, Jay Shetty, Mae Musk, Priyanka Chopra, Matthew McConaughey all come on live to talk to our members. And that's not all. You'll also have access to our private student social network, where you can connect with fellow members in your local city, make extraordinary new friends, and attend meetups that are now happening around the world. To total it all up, today you'll be getting Jim Kwik's Superbrain, the bonuses, Mindvalley membership, and access to Mindvalley Live, so you can finally reduce forgetfulness and boost your brain's capacity to grow. All this for considerably less than $2 per day. All you have to do is click below this video to claim your membership. Now, I want you to understand, you don't have to say yes right now, because you're about to experience some literally life-changing results with everything I just mentioned. And because I've taken the program myself and taught it to my kids, I have no hesitation in offering you a 15-day risk-free trial. This means you can explore all our transformational programs, try out everything on Mindvalley, and for any reason, if you feel it isn't up to par, you don't even have to contact us or email. We're so confident you'll like what you'll see that we offer a one-click refund. One tiny click with your mouse. That's all it takes to get a full refund if you're not satisfied in the slightest. No emails, no phone calls, no hassle, no forms to fill out. And now, everything on Mindvalley membership, the platform, the community, the technology, watch it on Apple TV, watch it on an iPad or a tablet or an iPhone or your Android phone, watch it on your desktop, on any computer, listen to it when you're on the road. We've made everything so it's instantly going to be available to you in minutes. So you can get immediate access to Superbrain, membership, to Mindvalley Live, and to our private social network. And it's all 100% risk-free when you order right now. All you need to do is just click on the button below this video to get started instantly. Also, before you go, remember, please understand that I can promise the yearly price is a one-time special offer for today only. If you leave this page and decide to get this tomorrow, you might find that the price is no longer the same, and you might have to pay full price. I know this program works, and so do the tens of thousands of Mindvalley students who have made life-changing transformations simply by following this program in just a few minutes a day over 30 days, including many who acted on this one-time offer. So if you are serious about getting unstuck in any aspect of your life and making abundance, love, well-being flow to you, make today the day you took a stand. The day that you can look back on as the day it all started. Take advantage of this limited time offer and finally gain the good luck and fortune you've always wanted and deserved. Just click the button below this video and let's get started. Well, if you're still here, that probably means you're still on the fence. So let me leave you two more things. You can keep doing what you were doing before you watched this video, no problem. And you're probably going to keep getting the same frustrating results that led you to watch this video in the first place. Or two, you can skip 2 to 3 nights out to dinner this month and use those savings to invest in yourself, to invest in your brain and not just your stomach, to invest in transforming your life by upgrading the most important thing in your life today, your brain. If you truly want that, don't let today be the day that you pass on the best offer that you'll ever receive to achieve the life of your dreams. You've got everything to gain. And thanks to our guarantee, absolutely nothing to lose. I've gone out of my way to make this as easy and affordable as I could. All I really ask is that when you achieve that massive transformation of your brain and your learning ability and everything else that may come with Mindvalley membership, is that you stay in touch. You leave me a comment, or you write to me, or you share a story with our fellow community on our website. Now, let us know that we've helped you make a change, because this is really what Mindvalley is all about. So it's up to you to carry on as you have before, or to try Jim Kwik Superbrain Mindvalley membership and get everything that's included in it completely risk-free. My name is Vishen, and I cannot wait for you to take action and finally achieve the success you deserve. Just click the button below this video to get started now. Now, a special word for many of you who are over 60. If you live in the United States or any developed country, there is a 1 in 3 chance that you are going to suffer from degenerative brain disease as you get older. This is true for so many people. It has happened to so many people I deeply care about. But you can help slow that down by training your brain, because there is a concept called neurogenesis, and the right brain training can actually make your brain get healthier and push away the onset of degenerative brain disease. And so Superbrain isn't just important if you're a student, it's important if you're 40 or 50 or 60 or 70. Now, if you're worried about using our platform, don't worry, because when you sign up, we actually arrange a special onboarding call where a Mindvalley guide gets on a call with you and 4 to 5 other students and takes you through our platform. So even if you're not tech savvy, we are going to help you understand how to use this training.